Good evening, guys. Welcome to video number 145, and in this video we are going to talk about a calendar, a planner, and I'm going to record this video because I have received an email from one of my subscribers through my excelvbalover.com website, and this is the query. So before I read the query, I just want to tell you, either you can call me, or maybe you can go to my website and you can click on the contact us tab, and you can write your name, email address, and you can leave your query there, right? Whether you are working on any of your project, or maybe you want training on Excel, VBA and MS Access, just let me know about it. This is the forum where you can actually go ahead and can submit your query. So this is one of the emails which I actually find it very useful, so I thought, why not to go ahead and try to give a solution, at the same time also to make you aware about how you actually work on the meeting planners, right? So this is the email is written by this Ashish, and he has said that please help me to create a worldwide meeting planner database. As mentioned, if you're a client trying to schedule a meeting in multiple time zones, the ultimate goal here would be able to pick up the locations of all the attendees and be able to see when holiday occur, and potentially even display time zones if they input the data to be able to show the time. And then he has also said that I imagine we could have a spreadsheet that have few inputs, one for date and other selector for the country to include, and then the output could be a calendar that starts 2 weeks before the date selected and 2 weeks after, contains all of the holidays of all the countries. So what I have understood from this question is we are actually looking for a kind of a calendar template in Excel where we can actually go ahead and can select the employee ID here. Like for example, if I'm looking for employee ID 102, I want to invite him next week, let's say. So I will actually select the employee ID, and of course I'll select the date. So if I'm looking forward to 21st November, whether this employee is available or not, then this actually can give me the scheduler of this employee ID. So you can see here that the moment I select 21st of November, it will go back 10 days, right? It will go to the 11th November, and it will be taking the other some extra dates as well, December 4. So you can of course increase and decrease according to your choice, according to your requirement. So 21st of November is somewhere here, right? So what I have done is I have added like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 odd dates, and I have added again 10 dates before it as per the question. But this can be increased or decreased, right? That is not is something very tough. So the idea is to give a pop-up here. So this pop-up will, this text box is going to display the results, and it says your invitee has 3 PL means paid leaves, right? And 0 holiday. So there is no holiday, but has these 3 PLs, and these PLs you can see in this list box. Automatically it will change. So this employee ID 102 is actually not available in office. He is on the paid leaves on 14th November, 18th November, and then 29th of November. And we can we can verify the results. So let me just go back, go to the database. And so here I'll be telling you what exactly I have done. I have prepared this dummy data, but then we can go to the employee ID 102, and we can see that if I have those dates available or not for this, if I'm getting the correct result or not. So I see here 18th and 14th November. So look at this 18th. So we have here the paid leave for this, and then we have the 14th. Wonderful, it works very nice. And the last date is 29th of November as well. So 29th of November, this is what exactly I'm talking about. So it is automatically going to pick up the data from this. And if I'm going to change this to, let's say, employee ID 101, this is another invitee which I actually want to send a meeting planner for my official meet. But before that, I want to see if employee is free or not on those dates, right? So I select this 101, and this is going to tell me that all the calendar dates will appear here. And now I can see that your invitee has 4 paid leaves and 3 holidays. So you can see here I have got the 4 paid holidays. I haven't created any list for the holidays, but it can be created like we created this one. So in order to verify it, we can go to the database, and let's first start that 15-16 November is paid leave for this employee 101. So we can see here, so there you go. So we have 15th and 16th, and then 19th is a holiday which is not, I'm not showing, so just leave this part. And then we have on the 29th of November we have the paid leave. So 29th is also reflecting here, and similarly the last one is 4th of December, which is a part of this December 4. So let's see, yeah, so we have here paid leave, right? So remember one thing, what we have done is we have used our advanced Excel skills, and so whatever the dates you will see here, these paid leaves will not appear if they are not the part of these dates, right? So if I'm going to select 21st of November, then I will be, you know, on this November 11, and then it will go, it will cover all these dates. How many dates I have? 1 2 3 4 5 6 and then 6 4 24 days. So the moment I select, let's say 20 November, let's say, so I'm going to click here on the 20th of November. So the moment I click on the 20th of November, you see that this date is now December 3. So December 4 is not covered, and that's why earlier we were having another extra date, 4 dates as a paid leave showing up, but now this time we have only 3 dates. And the reason being because that date where this employee 101 you know, is having a paid leave, that's the date 4th of December, which is not a part of this calendar, because this calendar starts from November 10 and December 03. So it's actually telling you the dates only for this calendar, right? And you can see here invitee has 3 planned leaves and 3 holidays. So for holiday, as I said, we can create the same. So this is something sort of this stuff we are going to create here, right? So what I have done is I'm going to explain you one by one. First thing is I have created this drop down, and this is quite simple. So what I have done is I have created this list box. Simple. You can go to the data, and you can click here on the data validation. If you don't know anything about the data validation, please go and watch my videos on the data validation. Click on the data validation, and this is the 365 days I have included, and this is in the column XFD. So column XFD has all the dates, 1st Jan through 31st of December 2015, right? So these are the dates which user is supposed to use. And then what I did is let me just color it. Let me give some different color. So now what is happening afterwards, this calendar is automatically changing, right? So let me tell you what exactly I did. So for example, let me go to the next sheet. So what I did is let's say I'm gonna put here some dates. Let's say these are the dates. Okay, I'm going to create a list for these dates, right? Let me just copy this and paste value. Just an example I'm showing you. Now here I'm going to put some, let's say, date. Alt DL is the shortcut key to go to the data validation, and I'm going to create this list for you. So now I have the list here. The moment I select the date, go to the format cells, Control 1. So we can change this date pattern, right? Maybe you can change it to, let's say, like this with day as well. Double click here. So today's this date which I'm using right now is November 15. So what I did is I said that since I have to take 10 days before this date, or maybe let's say 3 days, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to use here, let's say let it be 5 days, right? So 5 days means whatever user will select here, this date will be 5 days back to the selected date. So I'm going to add 1 to it, and this is how I have created this calendar. Right now it is again your choice up till which date you want to, how many number of days you want to create. So let's say I'm just giving an example. So you need to +1 it, and then you need to +1 it again, and then you can drag this, right? So we have got these dates. Again I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So you got these dates. So we can simply go ahead and we can actually increase the height. So let it be 22, let's say, or maybe we can also drag it like this, and like this, right? And then you can center align them on the center, make it the middle, and then give a good bordering, right? You should be good in the colors, and you can remove the grid lines as well, right? And you can further, if you want, you can further increase the height. So this is what exactly I have done. So whatever date I will choose here, if I am going to choose here, let's say 18th of November, you see that it will take just double click here, it will take 5 days prior the date, and we had November 13, and then it goes till November 24. So this is how the calendar is actually formed, right? So let me go back to my calendar view. So this is what I have done so far. Similarly, you can create the another data validation for the employee ID. I have written here manually 101, 102. If you have a long list, just first compile it somewhere and then use it, right? And you can further add the arrows, and you can make it look like a complete dashboard. Like you can go to the insert and then you can add whatever arrows you have. You can also go and watch my art of making dashboards on my website, and you will have a good amount of idea. For example, in this tutorial Excel, go to the video tutorial, and I'll just show you. So here you have it's dashboard making. So you have series 1, series 2, series 3, series 4, series 5, series, everything is there. So you can watch all these videos, and it will give you a good amount of idea what exactly how you actually start with the dashboard makings. And these are the data validation examples drop down, right? Very good videos. I try to give solutions to people who write me in, whether my ex-students or maybe the subscribers. So they are fantastic videos, right? Okay, now let me come back to this control. Now what we have done is the important point of this project is how you set up the database. So if your database is correctly set, it's like like you have you have already actually succeeded in your mission before it actually started, because setting up the neat and clean database, it's very important. And many of us are not actually aware how to set up the data. Data should always be set up in such a way that you will be able to manipulate, you will be able to change it. Manipulation would be a wrong word, but you can change it whenever you want. You want any addition, subtraction, you can easily change it, right? So setting the correct data is very, very important, right? So Excel, though, is not a tool which is people use it a lot to store the information when it is storing a huge information. When you have a lot of, let's say, database which have millions of rows, of course it's not a good tool. But then storing information like 20,000 rows, 30,000 rows, 40,000 rows, you can do that, right? So otherwise we have another softwares given by the Microsoft, like MS Access SQL Server. But anyways, that's not the topic to be discussed here. So what I've done is I have thought of 3 employee IDs, right? So here I have a list of this employee ID 101, and it's actually attendance. Attendance means that you have to ask these people that they should send you the list. Now it's not necessary to send their list for the entire year, but they can at least send the holiday list, and apart from that, when they are actually going to be on leave. So generally this is something which employees always plan in the beginning of the year, right? And moreover, they keep on if they have any changes in their leave planner, they can always send you that list and you can update it here, right? So I have just kept 3 employee IDs, but you can even keep more than that, right? So here and the time zone is also available. So what I've done is for the dates where I have got them on the holiday and on the PL, apart from that I have kept everybody P, right? So you can do that very easily. So these are the 3 employee IDs, and I have their calendar throughout the year like this. If you know Access, you can even store this information in the Access, right? If you have a lot of employee IDs, right? That's very simple. So I have kept all these 3 employee IDs, and this one is time zone India, this is the UK time zone, and this is the US time zone, right? So we have their calendar for 365 days whenever they are available. And then the important point is, so this is how you set up the data, and this is very important point where I have done all the calculations. So this is actually calculation sheet. Now you need to pay attention to this sheet, right? And I will be a little slow here, or maybe if you don't understand anything, you can pause the video and you can see what formula I have used. So the very important formula which I have used here is indirect. Now this is, I think, you know, I don't think so we can have a better video than this explaining indirect, the significance, the importance of indirect function in Excel. I teach this function in my training classes as well, and I always say this to my students, that this is one of the most powerful you know, function in Excel after arrays, right? I really love working on this function, but yes, many of us are not actually even aware of its, you know, real strength. So today we are going to unleash the power of this function. And before I go further, let me tell you, in case if you want to look out for more videos on the indirect function, then they are also available on my this you know, playlist. You can click on my YouTube channel playlist, and you can go and check the playlist with the name of indirect. Look at this. So we have a lot of videos here, or maybe you can refer to my website as well. There also you will find the same videos. So here you need to go to the Excel video tutorial section, and you will be having videos on this indirect function. So you have here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 videos, and all are actually real, you know, examples. I mean, they are not like more of a bookish kind of a knowledge. We have uploaded these videos when we, you know, try to solve the questions came up from, you know, people who actually work on Excel. So they are the, you can say, more of a like project oriented videos, so must watch for you. And so let me come back to my this video. So now in this case, what I have done is, first of all, and one more thing, there is another function which we have used here, offset. It's again one of the very powerful function, advanced function in Excel. So I'll be telling you about this, and you can also go and watch the videos on the offset as well. So the very first thing which I did is I linked this cell with the calendar J2, right? Control square bracket, and it will take you to the sheet where you have linked this cell. So here, whenever user will select 102, 103, or whatever employee ID, you know, that will be reflected in this sheet 101. So it will automatically change, right? Now this is the very important point which I am doing. I'm using a match function. So match does what? Match actually returns the position of an element, of a value in the database. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find the position of this 101, right? So what I did is I'm saying match A1 in the database, which is my this database, A2 to L2, which is my table range. So it means I'm trying to find this in this A2 to L2. In this table only, I'm trying to find the employee ID. So in this case, my employee ID position is 1 because it's going to be on the first position. If I select 102, it would be 1 2 3 4 5, and if I'm going to select this 103, then the position would be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? And we can actually do the test as well. So I can select here 102, and then let's go to the sheet 3 and see. So you can see here that I've got the 5 means that my column number is 5 for this 102 and this table range, which is A2 to L2, which is this one, A2 to L2. So I'm on the 5th column, right? Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create an address, because indirect always works on the address. So you don't have to go to that cell. You can just simply write the cell address and indirect works for you. For example, if I write here A1, which is a cell address, and indirect always works on the cell address. So if you select this cell, you will not get the A1, but you will get what the value we have in A1, and in my A1 I have a value 102, and this is what you will get, right? So this is what exactly I have done. Now what I've done is I want to create a address where this value actually lies, you know, this 102. So what I've done is, if you look at this important thing in this E1, I have concatenated sheet name, which is a database, which is my this sheet name with the sign of exclamation, and then I've used a function called address. Again, it's a very powerful function. Address actually is a function which forms the cell address. For example, if I say 1 by 1, row number is 1 and the column number is 1. So what do you think? What would be the cell address? Row number 1 and column number 1 means A1, right? So you'll get the A1. If I write here address, let's say 5,3, what you will get? So 5 is for the column, for the row, sorry. So 3 is for the column. So 3 column means C, and 5th means obviously 5th row, so it will give us C5. So you will get the C5, right? And then using the indirect function, you can say that select this cell and get me the value of the C5. So in the C5, what value you have, you need to see. So I have here C. In the C5, I have a value called P, right? This is the P. If I change this to, let's say, Ajay, which is my name, you'll get this value, right? Let me undo this. So this is what I'm going to use in indirect. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to form the address. Now you might be wondering that why then I have used this database sign of exclamation. The reason is because I'm not using this, I'm not linking this cell, which is E1, with the any of the cell within the sheet. Whenever you link one sheet with the another sheet, let's say I'm going to link this here, then you always have that sheet address. You can see here the sheet name is calendar, and the sign of exclamation is always there, which Excel introduces, Excel puts for you, and then the cell A4. So this says that A4 is actually belongs to the calendar sheet, calendar, and then sign of exclamation, right? However, if I keep this A4, if I select this A4, then it will not show me any sheet name, which is sheet 3, because this is within, right? So this is exactly what I need to do. So I've created this cell address database, I have put it in the quotes, and then I've concatenated it with this address, and then what is the row number? So important point is row number will always be 2, and in B1 I will have the column number of this employee ID chosen, right? So ultimately I will end up having here the second row and the 5th column. So second row and the 5th column is E2. So E2 and this database sign of exclamation, when it is going to be concatenated, it will give me the complete address of this sheet, which is E2 cell of database sheet. And so E2 means that this one, this cell address, right? So if I change anything here, if I'm going to link that value somewhere within that sheet, it will also show us the same result, right? So, and if you're still not sure why I have used here 2, because you see that in our database you have all the employee IDs written in the second row, right? Though they are written, they are getting repeated here as well, but that's something which we do not want. We are just focusing on the second row. We just need to find the position. Position means we need to find the column number, where exactly they are. Are they on the column number A, which is 1, or E, which is 5, and then or the column number I, right? So this is what exactly this function is giving us, match, right? And then I'm using this in this indirect function, address function. So here we have created an address. Now here what I have done is I have transposed this calendar, because obviously, as I said in the beginning, whatever date you will select, and according to that minus 10 dates and plus 10 dates to this date, your calendar will actually look up for the values, will look up for the dates, and those dates will be these dates, right? So what I've done is I have actually used this transpose. Let me show you how you can do it. For example, now I have here 4 cells. Select the 4 cells, 4 rows, I beg your pardon, and then use the transpose function, and then you can go to the calendar and you can select this, and you need to press Ctrl Shift Enter. Remember, Ctrl Shift Enter, right? So this is how the formula will come and just change the formatting to the date, right? So now what is the benefit using this transpose function? Because now whenever any date changes in this calendar, for example, if I'm going to change this date to, let's say, 29th of December, now we have a 19 December, 10 days, you know, prior to this, you will see that here also I have this changes. This function is, transpose function is automatically going to change the values, right? So similarly, you need to create, again, select the 4 rows for this second list and use the transpose function, and then go to the database, not database but the calendar, and select these cells and close the bracket and Control Shift Enter, and then go to this category. Control 1 is the shortcut key, and then you can select the date here and press OK. So similarly, you can further add all these calendar lists, and this is what I have done. So let me just now delete this, and this is what I have done here. So all these dates will appear here according to the calendar. So we have started from 19 December and 11 Jan, and this is what we should have here, December 19 to Jan 11, right? So these are the dates which I'm using here. Now the second important point is, now against these dates I need to check what exactly is the attendance status for that employee ID which we have selected, 102. Now this is very important. Now your database is here. Now see, if it is an employee ID 101, then the column should be 1. If it is employee ID 102, then it should be 5, and similarly a different column number for this I, right, which we have already found using this address function, database E2. Now what we need to do is, if you see here, I have actually simply have tried to find the position of these lookup values, 19 December, 28 December, and they are telling me the row number. So if I go back in this table in my database, you see that 19th of December, if I go in the 19th of December, if I select this 19th of December, which is here, it's a row number 354 for every employee ID, obviously, right? So this is what we are getting here, row number, right? Since these dates are 216, I have not created, so they are showing us error, right? So you can always put the error handler there, or maybe you can increase the range. So for right now, let me just change this date to, let's say, 9, right? Okay, so this is how these dates, this calendar will automatically change because of the changes in my calendar, which is a horizontal. This is a horizontal calendar, and this is a vertical calendar, which user will not be able to see, which is only for you, right? Okay, now so here I will get all the row numbers, the position. Again, I have used a simple match function. Match is going to match this content in my database, which is this database, in this database B2B. So you can use B2B, or you can use F, or maybe J, one and the same thing, because dates are matching with each other, they're going in the same sequence, right? So I'll get the positions, and thereafter now what I have to do is I have to use the offset function. It's a very important function now. So not only just offset, but I'm also using the indirect function. So what a great combination of offset and indirect function, right? So what we have tried to achieve is, now offset, when offset works, how it works, we have to tell the reference from where to start. So let's say if I am saying that I need to start my journey from here, and I need to move 2 rows down, and let's say on the very same column. So for the column you use 0. If you should be on the same column, then look at this value. What will happen? You'll get the value called 42308, which means that you have a date called 31st of October, which is this date. So if I'm going to start from here, this is going to be 0 row, and then 1, and then 2. And since I'm on the same column, so the column will not change, and it will be shown as 0, This is how. And if I change this to 1, see what will happen. It will move one column here because this is the 0 column and 1 is this, and then 2 rows down, which means 0 1 2. So I will have 305. So let me change this to general tab and you will see that you have the 305, right? So this is what exactly I'm trying to achieve here. Now what I'm saying is that start your search. Look at this function indirect E1. Indirect E1 means that I'm going in this function indirect and then E1. In E1 what you have? In E1 you have a cell address, complete cell address, which means that it is E2 cell of database, and the moment you press enter it will go to the 102, which is this cell. You can see here it's E2, right? You can see in this name box. So I'm on this cell. So what I'm saying is now that on this cell, this is the starting point. Go to the next parameter offset. It says how many rows now you need to go down or up, wherever, whatever, you know. So I'm saying that go in the B4. So B4 is what? B4 is 304. So go in the 304 row and subtract -2 from it, which is a constant. Why? Because in 304 row, if you see here, we are starting our journey from here. So if I need to move 304 row down, then I'm not going with the Excel rows. Why? Because for offset, this is going to be my 0 row, because this is going to be my starting point, right? And I'm already on the second row as per the Excel, but for the offset, this is going to be a 0. So it means I'm already 2 rows extra. And that's why when I'll reach to the row number 304, actually I will be on the row number 302 according to the offset, because offset always starts with the 0 when we talk about the row function. Now where exactly you want, which column would it be? So the column is going to be the 2. Why? Because your starting point is what? It's database E2. So it's, if it is E2 of this database sheet, then means it's a 0 column and then 1 and 2. So here I have their attendance, right? Similarly, when it will be 103, it is going to be 0 1 2. So 2 will remain same for every employee ID. This is how I have actually created this database. This is something which I was telling you, that you need to set up your data. If you are going to set up your database quite, you know, efficiently and with a lot of thought process, then it's like, you know, half of the things are already done before you even start working on the project. So this will pick all the status, holiday, leave planners and everything. Now once we have these dates with the attendance of the employee, right? Now see what is happening. I have actually freezed this E1 because every time this should be picked. So what it is doing is, now here 305 minus 2 is giving you 303. So it means you are saying that in E2 database you need to move down 303 rows, and then on the second column whatever value you have, you need to give that. So this is how you will get this status. Now here what I have done is I have put the PL check. So here I'm simply saying that if this value is equals to PL, which is paid leave, then return the row number, whatever the row number you have. So that's why you see here I see here 19, because here in the 19, on the row number 19 I have here PL, right? And similarly on the row number 23 I have here another PL, right? So this is how it works. Similarly you can create a holiday check. If this value equals to HOL, then I should get the row number, and this is what is happening. You can see here that I have the holiday for this employee ID. So holiday is on the 15th row. Now we are going to use this. So what I'm now finally going to do is I'm going to create here, look at this function. This is very useful function. I have used here large function. So large means that I'm going to find out the first largest number, second largest number, third largest number in this table. Automatically what will happen is the gaps which I have between 19 and 23 and then other values, they will be reduced and you will get the sequence. Now for all of you who do not know how the large function works, you can go and watch my videos on the arrays. We have used large function there a lot. Large means that you need to find the second largest, third largest, or whatever. Like for example in this table B4 to B6, if I want to find the second largest number, I should write here 2, and 305 is the second largest number. So this is what I have done here. in order to get the positions, like they are scattered right now, 19, and then we have a lot of zeros, and then 23, you know. So I have tried to combine them one by one, right? So here what I did is I said in this table, which is D4 to D7, give me the first largest number. To make it dynamic, I have used this function row and then -2. Row will give you row number 3. 3 minus 2 will give you 1, right? So this is what exactly the row function is all about. When you drag this down, you see that you'll have a sequence. You are on the row number 9, you are on the row number 10, you are on the row number 11. So what I did is I simply said, in order to make it first largest, second largest, I subtracted -8 from it, because I'm on the 9th row. So if I subtract the above 8 rows, I will get these values. I will get this kind of a sequence, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? And then I will be end up having the large function, and then I'll use this in this table. I want the largest number, this one, so it will give me the 23 here, right? And I need to freeze this table, so freeze the table and keep I9 open and then drag this. So this is what you'll get. After 29 19, I don't have any value. Let's say for example, if I have a 13, this 13 will be reflected here as well, right? So this is what exactly we did. Anyways, let me just delete this. So finally, when I got these values, now again what I did is I simply used a if function here. If this value is 0, then give the space, otherwise return me the M3. This is what is happening. If it is 0 space, so that's why you don't see anything here, right? And then this is a very important point. What we did is, finally on the row number 23 and 19, I have the dates. So I need to find those dates which eventually I'm going to use in this list box. You see, if I see here that employee ID 102 is on the leave on paid leave on 14th November and 18th November, this is how I'm getting these values, because I have linked up this range, right? I'll come to this point. So what I did is, see this, I said that go to the indirect. I use the indirect function. Indirect always looks for the address. So I said that my date would be on the A column, so I concatenated A with the row number, and the row number is 23, and then I use this, and then you need to change the date formatting like this, right? And then I drag this, and when I drag this further, it will give me the reference, and that's why I use the if error, and then the space, and then you can drag it to remove the errors. This is what I have done, right? You can pause the video and you can see the formula what I have applied. So I've got these dates. Now eventually what is happening is, this list box, the way I have created it, go to the developer tab and go to the insert, and then you can create a list box from here. So combo box or list box, both are available here. So I have chosen this list box. Click here and simply drag this, okay? And then right click on the list box and go to the format control, and in this input range, provide that range wherever you have that range. So I have this range, so I've selected this entire list like this. Keep it maximum so that maximum dates can be covered, and then you can similarly you can create it for the this one as well, for this holiday list as well. You can create the same formula here for the holiday check and the dates, right? And the rest of the part which I have created here, this text box, what I did is I simply created this list. Your invitee has, I put this in concatenation, and then I use this AND operator, and then I use this count J3, and then I said that whatever the number of paid leaves I have used this J3, and then again concatenation and holidays. So basically here we are using the COUNTIF function, which is checking the count of this PL, and here we are using this COUNTIF function, which is checking the count of the holiday, and then I've used this link. So what I did is I inserted a shape like maybe this one, inserted this text box, and then I pressed equals to here equals to, and I selected this cell. So this is how you will get this. Now just put it in the correct format like this, give the space. So this is how I have created this. So you'll see here this box sheet 3 L1, you can see here it has this list with this cell, right? And this is how we created this entire dashboard, right? So I hope it is going to make a lot of sense to you, and if you have any questions, let me know about it, and what are your views, thoughts, please share it with me. And guys, if you're watching this for the first time, go and watch my 144 videos as well, and please subscribe to my channel as well to support me. Thank you so much, and I'll come up with some more exciting stuff.